Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you well. From wherever you're watching this channel, I'd like us to quickly visit this developing story about the autopsy and the reason why the police has suddenly decided to recant their previous reason for the death of Albert Ojwang. So first and foremost, there is a posting that David Maraga shared, and David Maraga was requesting that there be a total regime shutdown. Now, this matter did not sit well with the government faction because, honestly speaking, this story of Albert Ojwang has painted the government negatively. The government is now being blamed for extrajudicial killing. So first and foremost, allow me to take you through the tweet, or rather the letter that David Maraga shared requesting that the regime be shut down. So this is what Maraga said. We now demand the regime shutdown makes way for a reset to the rule of law and accountability, a restoration to the values respecting human life, and a rebuilding of our nation's institutions that now point towards state failure. The people shall reset, rebuild, and restore. So this is a tweet that Maraga shared soon after the government pathologists came out with another shocking revelation which exposed the national police, because when the national police surfaced, the first thing they gave as a reason why Albert Ojwang died is that alijigonga kwa ukuta. But when the government pathologists came out after doing its investigation, the result was negative. It was a bit different from what the IG Kanja gave. And that forced the national police to again now say, now their initial reason for the death of Albert Ojwang, they have actually vacated it. Now they were settling on a new narrative that could have led to the death of Albert Ojwang. And that was already painting the police nikama they were less serious on this issue. So I want us to explore this story further because Maraga is demanding for an total regime shutdown. What do you think about Maraga's request? Should the regime be shut down completely? And who can shut down the regime? Now, before we explore this story further, ladies and gentlemen, kindly take this opportunity, like this video to enable you to share this video to many people. Subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed before. And to our existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Now, this letter from Maraga, because he shared a letter here, and if I may look at go through the letter a bit, it says the title is Demand for Regime Shutdown. Let me just take you through the first paragraph. The autopsy of Albert Omondi Ojwang, released by the government pathologist, confirms that the young man was brutalized, strangled, tortured, and murdered by the police. The brutal murder falling nearly on the 1-year anniversary of the killing, maiming, and abduction of hundreds of young Kenyans is evidence that William Ruto's administration does not appreciate that the people of Kenya are sovereign. His administration has therefore lost legitimacy to continue being in power. Police killings and enforced disappearance have increased in geometric progression under this regime. So that's just part of the letter that Maraga shared. But you see, as usual, the government side is always on the defensive. And that's why you find that Aaron Cheriot had to react to Maraga's demand for a regime shutdown. And Aaron Cheriot said, political scavenger, as head of judiciary, how quickly were matters of extrajudicial killings resolved under your reign? As the people of Kericho, we have not forgotten how you aided your tribesman, a police officer who killed Ainamoy MP in broad daylight in 2008 to evade justice with a lighter sentence. You build up this monster called police brutality. Stop the hypocrisy. So what we're finding with this is that Maraga is requesting for a regime shutdown, but Aaron Cheriot is reminding Maraga of the past decisions he made which aided this police brutality. Now, let me quickly take you to what we think this could be the reason why. You know, there's been a blame from Kenyans, especially security experts, to the police that how could they quickly make a conclusion that Albert Ojwang killed himself, and then go quickly after a report has been released, then say that, oh no, we were wrong. In fact, what happened is that he did not kill himself.
This kind of a report going up the ladder of those who are supposed to focus a lot on investigating a matter that has happened speaks a lot to us. That people are hurrying to do their job because of a piece of instruction or an order come from another place. So they want very fast to let that matter out of their hands to the next level without sitting down to do the details or follow through the procedure detail by detail for them to be able to unearth what requires to be unearthed for it to be able to use as a link here and there in the matter being investigated.
So you ask yourself, how did these people quickly investigate this matter to make them draw to a conclusion that Albert Ojwang alijiua?
Ojwang apige tu ya dinding, asiki Ojwang tena apige ya pili ni dinding mpaka kufe. Kwa Ojwang alikuwa mwanazi.
You see, that is what the people are not buying. Either our dear Kanja felt pressured, he had to say something, because he really had to say something, because the reason was given there ni kwamba alijiua. Most likely, let's just say that, for example, aliambiwa aseme hivyo. The big question is, did he investigate it? Earlier on in our previous analysis, there's something I pointed out, that even if maybe we would have said that he committed suicide, who is aware of that? I mean, so these are the reasons why now people like Maraga are calling for a regime shutdown. You know, that is really what is happening, ladies and gentlemen. One thing that we must agree on is that the narrative of the police has backfired. It has backfired. And also there's somewhere I've read that those interdicted officers say they were off duty when this issue occurred. Then the former police spokesperson Charles Owino also criticized Kanja on the suicide narrative, you know. And according to Charles Owino, he thinks that that was a very careless statement from someone highly ranked as a police boss, an inspector general of police, for him to come out and say that this death could have come as a result of what we call suicide, self-inflicting harm, you know, on the person of Albert Ojwang. That was reckless, according to Charles Owino. So based on these reactions, ladies and gentlemen, the government needs to blame here, and people are demanding that action must be taken. Based on what is happening, especially from the reaction from the former police spokesperson, the reaction from the security expert, you know, with things falling apart right now, you can as well say that hii serikali Maraga anasema kwamba this regime should shut down. It should be shut down. So who is going to shut it down? And how is it going to be shut down? What Maraga is trying to say is that mass action, of course mass action is fanyika hapa Kenya. The only thing left ni kura. Watu wachukue kura and they shut the regime down. They shut down the regime as proposed by Maraga in his X handle, ladies and gentlemen. So just go below in the comment section and tell us what you think about this request from Maraga. Maraga anasema regime will shut down completely. Then who is going to take over? If the regime is shut down, does it mean that kila mtu anaenda nyumbani, my ministers wote, hata wabunge wanaenda nyumbani, fresh election be done? But I think that can be done. you know. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Till you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.